Hello, 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 people of Earth. My name is Archer, and welcome to Back to the Mat, episode 11. This is a show where I, a former wrestling fan, step back into the world of pro wrestling after many years away. So, this series is me catching up, reacting, and rediscovering all the things I used to love about pro wrestling. And I'll be breaking down all the shows Monday Night Raw, Friday Night Smackdown, and every single PLE. So, if you've ever, taken a break from wrestling or you just want to see someone experience it all again, join me because I'll be here every single week. And today, we're going to be talking about Friday Night Smackdown. We're going to be covering the Randy Orton promo, the Jelly Roll Kit Wilson segment, as well as the Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu brawl throughout the show. So stick around, stay tuned, and let's get into today's agenda. So it's a pretty short show today, actually. For those of you who don't know, I for SmackDown episodes, I kind of just shoot from the hip. I have my list of topics and list of things I like to discuss, and I just kind of just go from there. Kind of like an unfiltered, unstructured kind of route. I'm a little sick if you hear it in the voice of like, what's going on? Is this like, this is your first time watching? Yeah, I am a little sick. I'm going to do my best to alter the audio so it's a little bit more listenable. But yeah, today's episode is short. This is what we're going to be covering, the Drew McIntyre. You already know. But yeah, another another episode of SmackDown where a lot has happened, but too much of it I just did not care for. We'll get into it. All right. Let's start off with the Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre segment. So last week, it's actually pretty funny. I thought they were going to take a Nick Aldis versus Drew McIntyre approach, no, like on the road to WrestleMania, because it felt like those two are just going to collide. And I thought, well, WrestleMania is right there, right? Why not do it then? And I didn't want that to happen. I didn't like expect it to happen, but it just seemed like all arrows are pointing in that direction because of just how much heat and conflict these two have with one another. Like, I was like, man, are they gonna like fight for? Is Drew gonna like say like I can do a better job than you at this, and you suck? Like, if you, is that what this is gonna turn into? Are they just gonna fight it out at WrestleMania? I'm glad I'm wrong. I wanted Jacob Fatu to get his kinda, like, spotlight moment. I know it's not, like, for the title or anything, but I wanted him to have his WrestleMania moment and not, like, be pushed to the side for a general manager versus WWE superstar match. Um, so after watching this episode, I'm like, "Okay, this is the direction." There's no Nick Aldis involvement in WrestleMania. Maybe they're gonna save it for later because Jesus, the line that he delivered later in the night was just a little brutal. I just we'll cover it, but wow. It's gonna happen. I don't know when. Doesn't look like WrestleMania, but essentially the show starts off pretty hot. I mean, there's a car accident, a car collision. We see Jacob Fatu. He gets T-boned by Drew McIntyre, and Drew McIntyre just rips the windshield off. I don't even know how it got cracked that much. Like, in terms of practicality, it takes a lot to just get the windshield to be that much, like, busted open, and also, I don't know why Drew, like, tried to pull him from the windshield. He should've just pulled him from the driver's side. I did These are, like, the small things that kinda icks me, but I'm like, "Alright, fine," starting off like this is It's quite intense, so that, they're just beating each other. He's just beating each other. He's just beating him up, bloodying him. And this, you know, he's beating him up, he's bloodying him, and this whole sequence of this whole w- fight between them just carries throughout the night. And I love it, man. I love it. I love the fact, since coming back, I realized it's not really the wrestling that I'm sticking around for. It's the stories and it's like the backstage and the all the extra stuff. Like they could have just had this moment and just let it sit there and be like, well, okay, they're just gonna fight it out. And then maybe even if they brought it back at the later end of the show where they fall off the scaffolding, sure, okay, but the fact that they kinda had, like, pieces and bits throughout the night of them just getting into brawl, hurting each other, just, like, them interrupting the MFT, like, whatever promo that they were about to have, and just fighting it out, I'm like, "Man, this is exciting. This is interesting." It's not ordinary, it's not basic, it's not, "Hey, I'm gonna beat you up because I don't like you." It's like, you see glimpses of it throughout the show, and it all culminates to that ending where they just beat each other and they just fall off the scaffolding, and I'm like, "Damn, this is turning into something that I'm gonna thoroughly enjoy to see how this ends at WrestleMania." This is like, it's they're taking a simple storyline and just by doing things like this, the car crash, the interrupting in between the segments, the brawls backstage, the brawl in the ring, they're just kinda they hit it, just going through I'm loving it. Drew even ends up having brawl in the ring after the car crash where he goes and I'll just fast forward here. He goes, he's mentioning Nick Aldis' son. He's like, "Donovan should be ashamed to have such a corporate stooge for a father." And you see Nick Aldis just like his face just dropped. He's like, don't mention my family, my son." By the way, the word stooge in this kind of smack has been dropped twice. I didn't expect that. Like Drew mentions it, and then later Randy mentions it. Like, and I'm like, oh, I did not expect that to be dropped twice. Wow, that was bingo. But I like it. I like it. Drew losing the title, and now he has to face Jacob Fatu. And I was fully hoping for this to be like, alright, they're just gonna push this under the rug and it's gonna be forgotten and that, but uh, they're really taking their time and their effort, and I like how both guys are actually, like, into this. By the way, for, like, practicality reasons, Jacob Fatu got hit by a car. I don't he should how he has this much energy and this much, like, just tenacity to go after Drew after everything is insane. I don't know how he's honestly being hit by there's a lot that is on this contender damage, the fact that he was bleeding and Drew was just pummeling him after it's pro wrestling. I'll look the other way. But I do love the direction. The interim women's title, not even talk that, but it's just boring. I truly don't care, but the fact that they are going to this length of them fighting on this scaffolding on the side of the arena or like a like on this building side, I'm like, wow, this they're taking this seriously, and I'm enjoying it. This is exactly what I need. I don't need a cookie cutter. I hate you, you hate me. I'm gonna attack you once backstage, this and that. It is overlapping. It is overlapping into like another, not another storyline, but it's like it it's making me excited for what's gonna come. I don't even know. Like they could have false count anywhere. Honestly, for WrestleMania, I don't know how that I feel like it should stay in the ring. Fascinating. Who knows? What direction this goes, I'm here for it. This is exciting. This is better than what I thought it was honestly gonna be. Show started off hot. It ended up great. I'm here. Alright, let's talk about Randy Orton. He's trying. I'll give him that. His face is getting red. He's doing all these promos. Randy Orton is trying to get these people to hate him. But nostalgia, the fact that he's been in their lives for so long, the fact that we've seen Randy grow in front of our eyes, they just love him too much. They love him too much. He is trying. He's mentioning, like, let's go through it. He says, he's like, I need that killer instinct. I know that I need a killer instinct to add number 15 to my legacy. This is what he says verbatim. You know, you can see he is sitting there. He's like really going at it, really pulling at the emotion, really like trying to get these people to see that I, guys, I'm the bad guy. You need to hate me. And they just don't care. They don't care. They have too much love for Randy and too much distaste for Cody that they just don't see this as a good guy, bad guy thing. They just see it as Cody just like we're happy to see Cody get beat. Like and you get your 15. How it happens, you could low blow him. He's been low blowing everyone. You low blowed uh Cody last week, Matt Cardona this week. Who's next? I don't know. But Randy being heel is not working. It's I think that if they gave this a lot more time and he just attacked or just did something throughout the course of months, just hurting people, isn't that maybe you could get the fans to hate him? But this is too quick of a heel turn with the road to WrestleMania around the corner that it's like we need more time to hate Randy. It's not like a quick up or Team Cody now. It's more of like no, we like Randy for who he is. There's too many good things about Randy, and there's too many fun things. Like heel Randy is a fun, enjoyable experience. He's a heel you want to cheer. It's one of those things. But yeah, all the promos he was doing tonight, it just wasn't working, and I like the mystery. I love a good mystery. I've said it like since the beginning. I love who is on the other line. Now, I have noticed that a lot of people are saying it's Shane McMahon. They're saying it's The Rock. Let me tell you something. I hope The Rock never shows up. This guy has ruined the John Cena uh uh heel turn, the final year, the tour, whatever you want to call it. He has ruined it. And I don't care if that music hits and the crowd goes nuts. I do not care. I never want to see The Rock on TV ever again. This guy, I don't want it to be. Also, like, if it's The Rock, he should be on the opposite side here. Not with this storyline, with the Roman Reigns storyline, with the whole Sika thing. I'm like, he should be there. I don't know what he's doing here, talking to Randy. And I know, like, the wrestling has more than one royal family. I'm like, all right, you want to do the whole Samoan dynasty thing or whatever. I don't think it fits in this position. I'd rather have it be Shane. But to be honest, my mind is drawing a blank of how Shane's going to be involved in this. Um, I'm excited to see. Honestly, I said it last week. I think it's Bob Orton. I think it's his dad. I sincerely, next to The Rock, on the list of who I hope it's not, I really hope it's not Ric Flair. If it's Ric Flair, I'm like, dude, I have you seen the videos of Ric Flair? He's looks like he's on his last like there's an interview of him and he's like sitting back and his head is back. I'm like, dude, he looks like he's on his deathbed. If he's on the other line and they bring him in, I'm like, I don't he's too old, man. And I don't care what he has to say. I'm like, I sincerely, I hope it's not him. Sincerely. I'm like, it doesn't need to be Ric Flair. For what reason? I'd rather have it be Shane. God, I don't want it to be The Rock. I know him and Cody have a thing, and I'm like, I don't. Him, Travis Scott, and Ric Flair better. Like, definitely not Travis. Travis Scott is. I don't. It can't be him. That'd be the dumbest thing ever. But like, I'm just saying, like those three names, it better not be. I do not care to ever see The Rock again. Final boss, him finishing whatever unfinished business. I don't. He had his chance with John Cena and that heel turn and all this stuff. You know, he made that stupid video. Think I could have done it. I'm like, well, you could have, you should have. You're on the board. You can go kick a, you can go suck a fat one. I don't really need you back. Not in this. Not ever. And I'm getting too into it, but yeah, I don't know why. Like, here's the thing: the word is it's Shane. I think it's Bob Orton. I think at the end of all this, I'm like the easiest choice might just be his dad. Um, how old is Bob Orton? Let's just. That's the other thing. Like, if is he even capable of fully being present in that ring? If he has to. How old is he? Jesus. Oh my goodness. I should have looked this up earlier ahead of time. He's 76. He's 76. Wait a minute. Yeah, he's like 76. I don't really need that. Like, to what capacity he's here to help Orton, I don't really know. Like, how involved he's gonna be. I hope it's just a phone call, but man, I don't know. I hope it's someone we don't even think of, who's not even on the way. Like, if it's Shane, okay, that would be. But I don't even know at what capacity. I don't know about the theories and all these other like stuff of like, oh, Shane has this going for me, or you could tell Cody to do this. I mean, you could tell Orton to do this and this and that or that. But so I don't have like a thing that's already built in to like, oh, here's the purpose of Shane being there. So I really don't know where I was going with that. But I am intrigued about who's on the other line. I also find it weird that like Cody's just like I also find it not Cody. I also find it weird that Randy's just like repeating his theme music. Is it just me or I'm like it's not hitting quite right. He's like, I hear voices in my head. They talk to me and they counsel me. They understand. I'm like, all right, I get it. Like, who cares? Like, what does that have to do with anything? I don't know. He's like ripping lines from his promo. I mean, from his theme song, and then the last week with the or not last week on the Monday night episode, he's wrestling as more than one royal family. So I'm like, all right, like, fine. Like nothing is truly making me hate this guy, which is quite interesting. Like, nothing he's done has been like, "Oh, this is horrible." And don't g like, look, the Mad Cardona RKO is not enough, okay? It's not enough because he like, I feel like well, let's talk about Matt Cardona. I feel like since he's come back, it's just been like Zack Ryder 2.0 for me. I'm like, he hasn't done anything of significance. He's just losing. I don't think he's won a single match since coming back. And not only that, but Orton just kind of buried him. You know, he calls him a mark-ass stooge and an indie nerd, and he says, "You need to stop wasting your time." And then he just decks him, just hits him, just blah blah blah. And then he pulls Matt into the ring. He's like, "Oh, I have an apology to make. This is bad." We all see this coming a mile away. He's just low blows him. By the way, how tanned does does Matt Cardona have to be? I have nothing against him. I'm just like, if you're Matt Cardona coming back to the WWE, this is I feel like he's in an awful place to be. He's just right back where he started. There's nothing real interesting happening with him. He's just like another body to be kicked around, which is kind of sad. You know, you'd hope like, oh, he's like intentions of being a champion and this and that and having a good actual storyline. Instead, he's just losing, getting RKO'd. And all right, I guess that's it. You know, promos aren't great either. I'm like, oh, I've known you and Cody for decades, this and that. Uh, but like, I'll say this: Jelly Roll had a better promo than he did. Jelly Roll killed it when Jelly Roll was talking some sense into or trying to talk some sense into Orton. Dude, I felt like Jelly Roll is the type of celebrity. Maybe I'm thinking, do I save it for the next segment or not? I'll save it for the next segment. But in terms of this whole Randy Orton's intention, yeah, the fans aren't buying it, man. We love him too much. Like when he RKO'd Matt Cardona, the fans were chanting one more time. That that's not a good signal. It's chanting one more time. Jesus Christ. This guy is getting the shit kicked out of him. He is getting pummeled into the ground. He got chair shotted. I'm interested to see where this goes. They're gonna boo Cody next week, aren't they? But I'm more intrigued about who is on the other line. Hmm, we'll see. All right, let's talk about Jelly Roll. So before I get into the whole Jelly Roll Kit Wilson segment, dude, you know, I love it when the celebrities actually take this seriously, and he is taking this seriously. Like, if you saw WWE Unreal, you know, he kind of went through. He bought a house just to train, and he made it work with his tour, with his SummerSlam match. He really put in the effort. He really put in the work. He really uh took all of the he took all of this seriously. Nothing was like half-assed. Nothing was really like, I'm gonna be a celebrity at SummerSlam doing a match. Da, 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 da." No, man, he really is about this. He actually does care. He shows up. He does like like showing up to these dates, even with like, isn't he like a 3-time Grammy Award winner? I think, dude, this is kind of incredible that he's actually putting the time into this. And the promo that he gave to Randy, dude, I was watching this going, this is unbelievable. Like this is amazing. I don't know, like if he had to have somebody help him with that, but the delivery was great. I was buying this. I'm like, wow, this is the voice of reason that he's providing. Incredible. I was like, wow. You know, he's not just like reading it, he's actually like feeling it, you know? He's like, "I don't know who that guy was last week. That's a different version of Randy Orton," you know? And the version he knows, and I'm reading it off here, he's a version filled with love. He's a great human, a man that changed the business by himself, and he's not just talking about the wrestling. He's talking about, being a husband, a father, the man, and I'm like, dude, this guy, he's talking about, how Randy has a beautiful soul. I'm like, dude, this guy's, you know, this is great. This is promo at its best from a celebrity. Like, this was better than the Matt Cardona thing. Matt Cardona's promo, I was like, okay, thanks. All right. Lines off a script. I could feel the emotion coming out of Jelly Roll in this, and I'm like, this is what you need the celebrity to be sometimes. To be an actual fan. You need a celebrity to actually give a shit, you know? And this is the quality that you get. Now, none of that just works. In fact, it tells Randy like, "Oh, I'm just gonna draw Matt Cardona out, lure him into my world, and then just RKO him, and then just beat himself." It didn't work at the end, but you could still feel that promo, that emotion that Jelly Roll had come through, right? But moving on to this Kit Wilson segment, this may be the highlight of the night. This was it for me. I was like, "This is great." I cannot wait to see what this turns into. I know they have a match next week. Then again, Drew McIntyre, Jacob Fatu had a match. This was supposed to have a match this week, and that didn't turn out to be anything. So I'm interested to see because I think this is clearly heading into WrestleMania. At some capacity, some combination, it's gonna have Jelly Roll, Kid Wilson, The Miz, please not Drew McIntyre, please Danhausen, and this is like some type of combination. This is gonna end up being leading into WrestleMania, and I'm here for it, man. This Kit Wilson promo, slam poetry, it was amazing. It was I I, I was having fun to beginning to end. We'll talk about the Jelly Roll response, not so great, but the Kit Wilson one, oh my god. I I want slam poetry almost every week. That was great. That was great. I had so much fun watching this, and I I was like, I said it in the beginning of the show, I don't really need so much wrestling. Do I need 10 matches? Do I need 7 matches? No, I don't. I watch wrestling mostly for the story, and honestly more for the promos. I love a good promo. The promo is really what does it for me. Slam poetry, I didn't think this was gonna be in my card of things I would enjoy this year. It was great. The delivery, the way he rhymed everything. I love a good rhyme, man. People say poetry doesn't have to rhyme. Poetry can just be the words on the page and the language and well, what do they call it? The symbolism. I don't care for that. I want it to be rhyming. I like a good poetry that rhymes. Now, is that like childish and simple? Like, oh, you know, you like stuff that rhymes? Yeah, yeah, I do. I do. It makes things a lot better. It's a lot funnier. It's a lot easier to enjoy. Fine, whatever. I had fun, man. It, it's it was great wordplay. It was great slam poetry, and the line about the Ozempic, I was like, oh, this is this is great. And honestly, the look on Jelly Roll's face, I'm like, he is. I don't know if they told him like, hey, this is what he's gonna say, or whether he just kind of reacted, but it was like, I think you can see the look on his face. He's like, oh wow, I'm impressed. And he even mentioned, he's like, oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. And I'm like, this is great. This is great content. This is kind of what I want heading into like I don't need the celebrity match at WrestleMania to have actual heat on it. I just need it to be a fun, enjoyable experience. And Kit Wilson, I feel like they're using him in the right way. He got to I don't know if that's his, finisher that he did on Jelly Roll at the end. It was a flying corkscrew elbow drop. I don't know if that's his finisher. It was great. I don't know if Jelly Roll was supposed to be in that position. I feel like he was supposed to push his body a little onto the side, but, whatever, I guess I'll figure that out. Enjoyable. The Danhausen, The Miz thing going on, very enjoyable. I am en like, that is they it is exciting to see where all these little things are gonna end up being on the WrestleMania card, but leading up to it, comple absolutely fun. There's no reason for this to be taken, like, seriously, or there's no reason for this to, like, be more than it actually is, but I'm having fun, man. Like, and also that Miz segment with Kit Wilson in the back, like, I think he's like, oh, he wants to, like, mentor Kit Wilson, and Danhausen pops up, and, the ladder falls and this and that. I'm like, this is all these things put together, it's gonna make for something special at WrestleMania. I can't wait. Jelly Rolls, I will say Jelly Rolls, um, his reply, not so great. I was expecting something like, you know, incredible. The Your Mama jokes, alright, funny. It's it's, like, silly, is alright. I'm like, still not as good as Kim Wilson, but, you know, this is much better than, a lot of the other stuff that happened on tonight's episode, and let's kind of let me see, do I have anything else to say about this Kit Wilson thing? No, I don't. It's mostly, like, for me, this whole Jelly Roll, Kit Wilson, Miz thing, I I'm so glad that they have different elements and different components to this story, right? You have um, the Danhausen wanting Miz to be his mentor, and he puts a curse on him, and as the weeks go on, you see the curse kind of take effect, right? The mic stops working, the ladder's falling, um, this and that. Then you have the Kit Wilson Jelly Roll drama in this. He's calling him fat phobic. He's making yo mama jokes to him. They have the clash at the end. You know, this is great. How this all comes together, I'm excited for. So, yeah, let's see. But this is, like I said, this is better than the 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 Bella Twins match tonight. This was the highlight moment of the night. And we had Randy Orton heel tonight. Think about that. This is my perspective. We had Randy Orton heel, and this was still the best part of tonight. We had Drew McIntyre, Jacob Fatu just brawling throughout the show, and still Slam Poetry was the best part of the night. So yeah, not everything has to have this like animosity or a great match. We had a championship. Oh my goodness. We had Carmelo Hayes defend his United States Championship, and Slam Poetry took the cake as the segment of the night for me, or at least as the moment of the night. Incredible, incredible. So yeah, um, quite a short rundown for today. I'm sorry about the voice. I'll try to fix it in in post, so this is a lot more enjoyable. But if you've listened this far, this is the end of the show. So yeah, every let's just cap it off tonight, huh? Let's just go through the last part of the show. So yeah, if you stuck around this far, that's the show. No, this is a show where basically every week I, a former wrestling fan, come back and review Monday Night Raw, Friday Night Smackdown, and every single PLE. And this is exciting because the next PLE is WrestleMania. So this will be my first WrestleMania that I watch from beginning to end. Uh, every year prior, I've either skipped it or, in the example of last year, I just watched the main event. Because I didn't really care. So this will be the first year I watch beginning to end in. Oh, gee, I have to go back and actually count because I don't even remember like the last WrestleMania I watched like full. But yeah, I'll be here every single week to break it down from my unique, interesting perspective of I used to watch wrestling, but now I'm back. In the next episode, we're going to be capping off. We're going to be recapping slash reviewing the Monday Night Raw. I have to get better at pushing these videos out quicker, um, because it's a Sunday. And if you're listening to this, you're like, well, you didn't give me that much time to listen. I'm sorry. I apologize. I keep telling myself every week, but between being sick, work, and just getting all this stuff ready for the show, I sometimes debate. I'm like, do I do this live? Do I like a live show and just go through it, or do I just sit down, think about it, give myself a day or two, and do it? But yeah, here we are. It's the end of the night. But yeah, I want to hear from you guys. Let me know what you think, what you thought about this episode of Friday Night Smackdown. Let me know what you thought about some of my thoughts. Maybe you disagree, maybe you agree, maybe you feel differently about certain things. Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to like, subscribe. Who do you think is on the other line? Uh, I don't know if I'm doing myself justice by like when I do this show, I don't really uh do extensive research or anything in terms of like, hey, what are like the other creators and this and that, thinking I like to just go in blind, but you can't help it sometimes when you're scrolling and everyone's like, oh, it's gonna be The Rock. Oh, it's gonna be Shane McMahon. And I'm like, I don't even know how, like, The Rock, wouldn't that make sense for Roman's story? And Shane McMahon, what purpose is he involved in this? I get the legacy, not like I get the wrestling has more than one royal family thing, but how does that tie? But yeah, who do you think is on the other line? I'm actually curious. And what's the reasoning? That's the most important part. What's the reasoning? So yeah, drop your theories, drop your insights, drop your comments down below. Um, I'll shout them out or I'll bring it up in the next episode. So yeah, if you have something interesting or a thought that you want to share, I'll shout it out in the next episode. I have a space for that. I didn't get anything last week. That's no problem at all. But if you do feel inclined to share, go right ahead. And we'll talk about it. And whatever, I'll spend the time discussing how you feel. Sure, like discussing your theories and stuff. And it's interesting to see the other side sometimes, right? The other side of people who've been watching this much longer than I have, or at least have hung in there in the years that I've been gone. Uh, to hear their thoughts, to hear their responses, this and that. So I always do enjoy that. It's one of my favorite parts. You guys notice stuff that I don't even think about. You might give me a reason of why it could be Shane. I don't know. I legitimately, off the top of my head, I cannot think of a reason. Other than there's many McMahons in this business. But yeah, this has been Back to the Mat, episode 11. Stay tuned for tomorrow, or at least in the coming days, where I break down Monday Night Raw. So yeah, comment, like, subscribe, and share it with the people that you think would enjoy listening to this. I'll see you on the next one. Archer out.